Okay, tell me if this sounds familiar. You finally get the kids to bed, get everything done, and then you go to bed, but you don't go to bed. You lay down and your mind starts racing about what's happening tomorrow, maybe the mental checklist in your mind. Then your brain jumps around to the challenge that your child is having with school or friends. And then your brain starts worrying, what if she doesn't figure this out? What if she got this from me? What if I can't help her? What if she doesn't have any friends? And then you're back to thinking about dinner for tomorrow. And your brain sort of kind of takes over in this spiral of slippery thoughts that are just unhelpful. This is what happens at nighttime with an unmanaged mind. And I have to say, not because I want to brag, but just so you can know what's possible with mind management, I don't experience this at all. And it's only because of the way that I have trained my mind, trained my brain for what is acceptable to do and to think at night. And this is something that I think is so important because regardless of the phase of life you're in, we sleep every day and we need sleep every day. Some of us are sleeping more or less than others of us. So you have a relationship with sleep, and that relationship is your thoughts about it. And those thoughts on default will not be helpful if your sleep is anything less than perfect. And if you are a busy, high-achieving mom like me, then your thoughts on default won't be perfect. And something that I'm really proud of that I have spent a lot of time doing is thought work on sleep, specifically with respect to what I just mentioned, but also with respect to navigating less sleep. I felt like I was at the effect of motherhood with my firstborn son who struggled a lot with sleep. Actually, all my boys did, but I only struggled kind of with the frustration and kind of the self-pity and the why is this happening to me and why can't he just sleep and this isn't fair and I'm just so overwhelmed and I just want to sleep. That was only with my firstborn son until I did thought work on it. And it has been life-changing because my second son is the one who has higher attachment needs, I would say, more separation anxiety. So sleep with him was a lot harder. And my third also has some separation anxiety, but it presents differently, I would say, he's more laid back. And so it's not that big. Sleep isn't a big problem for him. And yet he still wakes up through the night. And I have to tell you, I'm at peace. I manage my mind around it. Is it the most fun thing to be tired? No, but you're already tired. And so what are your thoughts about that? They are adding to your experience and either making it better or worse. So if you're feeling agitated, frustrated, more overwhelmed, and it's because of sleep, you really need my tools on how to navigate sleep and how to do it from a thought work perspective. Obviously, I am not a sleep training expert, and this isn't about that. I want you to try all of the things that you want to try with whatever type of strategies you want. And this goes for your own sleep as well. I coach a lot of moms as well who struggle with their own sleep. And again, not a sleep expert in that area, but what I am an expert in is managing your mind around it. So when whatever thing you try doesn't work, are you frustrated? If so, that's a thought work problem, not a new strategy problem. And thought work is going to help you just feel at peace and feel more calm and grounded and in more acceptance and less frustrated by things that are often outside of your control, whether it's your kids waking up in the middle of the night and you're having unhelpful thoughts in the middle of the night, and then also those thoughts the next day if you're feeling tired, or it's not a season where you're getting up with littles and you yourself just find yourself in whatever season of life, whether it's menopause or something else, where you're struggling with sleep. It's really important that you have tools to manage your mind around sleep. Again, I don't hear this talked about enough, and it is so, so important because sleep is something that we navigate every single day. To get this full podcast, which is really a set of tools on how to use thought work to navigate sleep, join me inside the Mom on Purpose membership. As soon as you join, you get access to the private podcast, which is going to have every single weekly podcast episode and training on there. You'll also get other content and tools and coaching as well. But for those of you who are avid podcast listeners, you get this podcast, this weekly podcast inside the Mom on Purpose membership over at momonpurpose.com/coaching. As soon as you join, you get the invite link to the private podcast and you can listen to this podcast episode. You don't even have to do any of the other things if they're not interesting to you. I know for those of you who have reached out, we've gotten tons of questions. We still do. So that's why I'm reiterating it here that yes, the weekly private podcast now lives on the Mom on Purpose membership, and you get access to a private podcast feed that has this full toolkit and episode on navigating nighttime thoughts, worries, and sleep. I would love to see you inside.